Hi, welcome to Astrology for Gann Traders. My name's Olga Morales, and this is another presentation of my WD Gann series, and I've called it Planetary Harmonics. Basically, we're going to look at how to apply Gann's emblem to planetary cycles. So, what is Gann's emblem? Gann wrote, "Within a circle is a square and a triangle." So here's our circle, there's our square, and there's our trine, which is a triangle. Now in astrology, this red box here is a grand square, and the green pyramid shape is a triangle, which is a grand trine. So they're the basis of a lot of astrological aspects that I've been presenting in some of these YouTube videos. But most people apply it on an annual basis using the sun or solar degrees, but this emblem can be applied to every planetary cycle. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a few examples. So basically, when we divide a circle of 12 parts by 4, which is a fourth harmonic, we get, or we have, three qualities, which are cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Now have a look at this. What I've done is I've created the fourth harmonic of Saturn's cycle on gold. Now I did have over 30 years of data, so I was able to get 4 cycles in there. Basically, with analysis of this type, the more data you have, using the outer planets is okay, but if you don't have a lot of data, you won't get enough repetition for you to get a statistical analysis for it. So basically what this shows is it's 4 overlapping periods of 7 years on against gold, and then you can see the degrees. The first 30 is cardinal, the next 30 is fixed, and the next 30 is mutable. And basically what it shows, that gold peaks when Saturn is in the late mutable signs in this area here, okay, for the data that I had. So, and basically when you put that on your chart, you can see these peaks. It's showing you every time there's a peak in that time that Saturn was in a late mutable sign. So this is why doing analysis in this way, looking back, as Gann tells you, you get a feel for what the planet has done in the past, and then you can start making a case for the future. Now let's have a look at when we divide a circle of 12 by 3 parts, which is a third harmonic, we have 4 elements. So we get fire, earth, air, and water. What I'm presenting here is Jupiter's third harmonic on BHP. BHP is a big mining company in Australia, and we want to see basically that the third harmonic of Jupiter is actually almost 4 years. So that equals 48 months or 1,444 days. Isn't that a groovy number? Gann people love that number. Okay, so basically we can see when it's overlapped, this is the fire section, this is the earth section, this is the air section, and this is the water section. You can see that BHP, when Jupiter's going through fire signs, you get quite a strong peak in that time, and also there's lows when it's in earth. So this is giving you something to look at now. What do we do with this information? Also, it will peak again in air signs, and it's a bit mixed in the water signs. So it looks like BHP likes Jupiter to be going through fire and air, which are the masculine, male signs, and earth and water are the feminine signs. Okay, so they're more passive. So let's have a look at why. I always, when I find this, I say, well, why? Let's go back to the beginning and have a look at the actual natal chart for BHP, which was born on the 13th of August 1885. Now the time, what I've done is I've put the sun on the ascendant, which is a method that simplifies if you do not have birth time when they're founded or incorporated. Sometimes that's difficult to get. So by putting the sun on your ascendant, that's like the starting point of the company, and it's like the self, and everything else comes off that axis. So basically I'm giving it a Leo ascendant with the sun, so we can see that the sun is in Leo. So remember, Leo is a fire sign. This is what we need to know. This is basic astrology, but very important. So what does that mean? I just showed you before that when Jupiter goes through fire sign, it's positive for BHP. We can see the Sun is in Leo, which is a fire sign. So here I have, for the data I have going back to late 1980s, you can see that basically I've plotted every time Jupiter's in a fire sign, which is every 4 years. You can see these peaks. The only one that's not quite, you would call like an inversion to the cycle, was in 2003. So that's the one we need to look at to see why that didn't actually give you a bullish period. But you can see in this period and where we are now, we're having exactly a bullish time. So let's have a look at why. So then I go back, why do cycles invert? I wanted to see who was making it not work for Jupiter, but basically we can see at the time when there was that low, when it should have really been a peak, because Jupiter was actually in a fire sign. You can see that Saturn's right on, if you go the horizontal, on the natal moon. Okay, so that's interesting that that's when the low come in. So it took control. Saturn often takes control from Jupiter and depresses rather than giving Jupiter its free run. So let's have a look then. You look at them. I wanted to plot this. I wanted to plot Saturn's fourth harmonic on BHP to see overall where there's high and low spots in its cycle. So you can see that first part's cardinal, second is fixed, and this third part is mutable. Now the natal moon was in Virgo, so Virgo is a mutable sign, and you can see in that mutable area, I was actually at 22, the natal moon's at 22 Virgo. You can see in here that it's quite a depressed period. And pretty much all of the mutable for BHP is a sensitive spot. Now, if you recall the natal chart, it had a huge stellium in Virgo. So you can see that every time Saturn would go through a mutable sign, it would be creating a fourth harmonic, which is either, well, they're all considered hard aspects, where it's got to be conjunct, square, or 180 degrees. So you get very hard energy, and the statistics is actually showing you that to be true. So this is what makes astrological analysis of cycles and stocks, whatever you're studying, so fascinating. And this is how you build your models and your cases, with this knowledge, and you can then have a look at how you can back test it, obviously, and make some projections for the future. So basically what I've done here, again, I've plotted when Jupiter's fourth was making a hard aspect to BHP's moon. You can see this period just after the crash in 1987, here again in 2003, sorry, and here in periods that we've just gone through, when we had these low times, Saturn was making a square, because remember Saturn's was going through Virgo last year, and so would have had a return to the moon, and that was a time when we had this quite a significant pullback. But now we've got Jupiter going through the air sign, fire sign, and so we've got in Aries, and we've got a whole stellium in Aries, which means that the natal sun of BHP is getting a big push up, and you can see that happening right now as I speak. Okay, hope you've enjoyed that short presentation, and have a look around on my website. I'm actually putting together some new just tutorials that people have been asking me about, and they'll be working with series, but they won't be available maybe in the next couple of months.